Hello, and welcome to the Coach's Lounge with yours truly, Barbara J. Beckley. How is everybody doing today? Please make sure that you comment to me, reach out to me, because one of the things that I always say, I want to make sure that we're doing check-ins. I say this all the time now, especially with mental health on the rise. So I'm going to always want to do and tell you, do your check-ins, check on your loved ones, check on your friends, check just on strangers. You never know what they're dealing with, especially in this day of age. So I'm going to throw that out there all the time. Do your check-ins, send a smiley face, send some hearts, whatever you got to do. It only takes a minute, sometimes less than a minute. You can take a minute out of your day on somebody to make sure they're good. So now that we did that check-in, I want you to know that we have a spectacular, incredible, amazing show today with, and you know I call my lady queens, they are royalty. This one is a celebrity queen. And I already told her already, I'm going to be throwing that in there as we're talking, as we're communicating, because I value and I honor women that are just pushing that needle in their lives, building their empire, and guess what? Making a difference and an impact in other people's lives. And Kristie Kennedy is doing that. Royalty in the house today. She's not only just in her own empire building, but she's helping so many other people build their empires too, making them feel confident in who they are, making them understand that they have a purpose. See, it sounds kind of familiar because guess what? Like minds think alike. That's what I do. And that's when I met her. I just seen her on it's totally, and we're going to talk a little bit about this. I met her through another show and I seen her pop on, and I'm just going to tell it. I might get yelled at, but she was so powerful. And I said, I have to bring her on the Coach's Lounge. I said, I got to reach out to her. And I did. I know she was like, okay, who is this person? I was like, I need you to come on the Coach's Lounge because just your energy alone. And she sings, people. She has so many talents. She's a speaker, international. She's an executive leader that she has been coaching for years, over 20 years. She has the receipts, as they call it nowadays, right? And she's also been a TEDx speaker and an author. But the biggest thing with this lady is she has a heart of gold. So let's get to really, really tune in and listen to her. And I'm going to tell you already, I'm not going to say at the end, I'm going to say at the beginning, but yeah, I'll probably say at the end too. Hire this woman. After you hear her and her energy and what she does, you're going to want to pick up the phone, okay, cell phone, okay, not the old phone, and you're going to want to text her. So let's give some love to her, and we'll be right back. My name is Barbara J. Beckley, and I'm a visibility and social media strategist. Yes, the queen is in the house. Okay, let's sing. that all quick.
I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh. Intro, Miss Barbara. Oh, I tell you, I was ready to get on stage. I'm like, that's how you do it.
Yes, I love it. Yes, that's how we're supposed to raise up our queens. I'm telling you. Yes.
Wow. Joy and honor to be here.
In fact, yes. So, Queen, I was going to sing a little bit, but then I'm like, no, you already kind of did your due, Barbara. Don't screw it up. Don't try to throw that out there. Let her do that, or let that.
Oh, you feel inspired.
Yes, I felt inspired. You make me feel inspired, Queen. But, this is, like I said, this is a conversation piece. And really, like I said, with the Coaches Lounge, and I explained to everybody, this is about really giving love to coaches, educators, mentors, anybody that's really helping other people just move the needle in their own lives, letting them know that they can do what they want to do. They can be what they want to do. What you want to do when you grow up? Well, you know what? You can do that. We can work on that. But see, I always say, Kristie, coaches doesn't get that much love because we're so busy helping others, and and that's our nature, right?
Yes.
That when somebody says, "Hey, I want to interview you, I want to lift you up because you've been such a good coach," and you'd be like, "Oh, that's okay." Like, no, it's not. You gotta give you flowers. So we're doing that today to you, lady, and I want to make sure that we just totally just give those flowers. Let them know how much you are just accomplished in this world and helping so many other people, especially with the confidence. I love that you talk about that a lot with everything you do because it's so important. And a lot of people, and you probably ran into this with a lot of people, the confidence levels, and sometimes it's because it's themselves. They're not really thinking of themselves as being that person that is powerful.
Oh, yeah. We're going to get into it. Yes, you hit it right on the head. Confidence is at the center of everything that I teach, and it's very personal to me because one, I am an introvert. Many people don't believe that. They say, "No, you an extrovert." My gift is very extroverted, but as a child, I was always overlooked because I was the quiet one. I would sit in the corner. I was hiding. I knew how to hide in plain sight, and I can still do it today if I turn it on. But what I realized was there was this internal battle. And then, as we know, we all have stories. So I had this story. I was hearing people start saying, she's very shy. She's timid, all these things because of my mannerisms. That just was very internal. And so I have a heart for introverts, those that are on the inside. They're overthinkers. I'm literally surrounded by 31 vision boards, 6 vision books. I'm constantly thinking. And as someone who has lived through depression, Barbara, what I realized is that if I don't take care of my inner world, I could live in darkness. And so I wanted my inner world to be full of vibrancy. I wanted it to be bright, filled with dreams, the possibilities that were endless. And that was really a pivotal moment when I started changing my inner dialogue. And that's where we build our confidence. It's the voice inside of our head, or should I say voices?
Yeah. Well, you know what? Just you telling me this, you telling us this much, we are sisters from another mother. I'm telling you, because I have the same thing that you dealt with that you're talking about, being an introvert. Because when I tell people, well, I was an introvert, I was very shy. I was bullied a lot. For 7 years, they told me I was alien. I mean, in grammar school, they basically told me I wouldn't amount to nothing. I was too fat. They said I was ugly. They're like, why are you even in school? You're not going to learn. I mean, they were telling me these things, Kristie. I mean, really, just every day. So I started believing it. I mean, when you hear it a lot, you start believing, okay, well, this is me. And why am I in school? But I have to say, with them telling me that I was not, intelligent or anything like that, it seemed like I hit the books even harder. That made me really push myself even more. So with that, I said, well, if I can't do anything else, I need to change the direction somewhere here. So it has to be with my education. So I was a bookworm, and I just kept myself, like you just said, I was just kind of to myself. People nowadays, when they hear me, they're like, get out of here. Somebody, you some kind of shy introvert. Why are you making that up, Barbara? Why are you lying to people? I mean, literally, Kristie, they think I'm lying. I'm like, no, I gotta take you back. You gotta, because I was just
the journey.
Yeah. that journey. So when I heard you say that, I'm like, oh my God, this is my
Mm.
sister. She hears me. She knows me. She feels me. Yes.
I see you, Queen. And
Oh.
I can remember my senior year in college. That was really a crossroad and a turning point because I went through college not talking. And I remember from, freshman year, I had to present in front of the class, but I was so afraid. When I stood up there, I tell people I had the cotton ball mouth effect. Nothing came out. And so I went quiet the whole time I was in college. And senior year, my professor called on me, and I told him he shared a Martin Luther King quote. And the quote was, "Nothing pains some people more than having to think." And I started thinking about literally how I had been living my life. I've been hiding. I want to say something. I'm too afraid to say something. And I answered the question. I was wrong. But let me tell you, the liberation that I felt from just using my voice. Listen, and girl, been chatty ever since. My husband can tell you.
I know. It's like they can't shut us down now. This is the point somebody says, it's okay, Barbara. And sometimes they even look over like they're saying something and they know I'm going to say something about whatever topic, whatever they said. I said, well, let's Barbara say something because I know she's going to say something now. So let her say what she got to say.
Let her speak.
That means he's like, we busted out, Chris. It's like we just busted out.
Yeah. All that good eating, now it's time to feed the people. And that's what I live for. I live for feeding people's minds because, as we know, there are so many options out there. We look at social media now. In my generation, there was no social media, but there are so many voices, and every plate is not good to eat from. So I want them to have high quality food when they sit down at my feet, and what I'm feeding them, this is something that can change their whole entire being, their lives, their legacy. And so I take that very serious, that someone gives you their attention in a world of so much chaos and so many voices trying to grab your attention, and it's not always with the best intentions.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad. I want you to dig a little deep in that because that's good. I love that because a lot of times I've been seeing people, everybody you see on social media, sometimes it's not, there's what they're showing you, then there's the backstory, which is a whole nother side of it. So when people see them on social media and they're portraying something different, and then it makes other people be like, wow, maybe I haven't got this together. But it's not so much that you don't have it together. It's just that they're portraying something and they're dealing with stuff just like you are. So don't get it twisted. Like people say, don't get it twisted that they're not dealing with some things, in any areas of their life. Not trying to put them down or anything, but just to I don't want people to feel like they're low on the totem pole because they feel like they need to be at a certain level because they're seeing all this social media and everybody, doing what they're doing. So I'm glad that you said that because a lot of time we can use that as our narrative in our lives. And a lot of time we should be doing that. You got to use your own narrative of who you are because you got a special gift in you. That's what I was telling you. Yes.
That's beautiful. You have a special gift in you. One of my favorite affirmation is no one is you, and that is your power. And I think when I got a hold of that was liberating within itself, because I still to this day, when I go on video, I literally hit my cell phone for years. That's how I book my keynotes. I haven't changed up anything. I literally am presenting my presence, my essence, my aura, my being. I'm just giving you me. And if we just take out all the extras, because that's what someone's going to hire you for. And 9 times out of 10, they'll say, I saw you on a video and I loved your energy. And I just gave them all of me in that 3 minutes.
Well, what you just said, that's how I wanted to get you on the show. Because I said, I seen the queen. I said, I love her energy. I love what she's talking about. She's so powerful. She's so knowledgeable. Yes, I need to get her. So yeah, if I'm saying that, I know there's so many other people see you in that area. And that's so nice. I'm glad that you said that, queen. And we got to keep repeating that. Be who you are. Nobody can be. And I think Lisa Nichols, I got this from her when she said, she can be the best Lisa Nichols, but she can't be a best Barbara Beckley, because you can only just be yourself in the power that God has given you and the gifts. Again, you have those special gifts that only He gave you, that your personality, who you are, what you represent, what you believe in. And a lot of people just want to be somebody else. I'm like, no, don't do that. Because that's like, I always say that's a slap in the face to God when you're trying to be somebody else. So what you trying to say? He made a mistake with you?
Come on
now. You can't argue that one. I'd be like, I can't say nothing.
In my bathroom, I have this quote. It's a unicorn. It says, always be yourself unless you can be a unicorn, then always be a unicorn. And we are unique by design. And it takes time to embrace that in a world that is competition based, as we know. Think about business, but you don't have to compete with anyone. You're competing against who you used to be. How can I elevate who I am today? And when you opened up, and I was thinking about childhood, the most common question we would get is often, what do you want to be when you grow up? It was the what factor. We're so focused on doing things, right? But no one really asks, who do you want to be when you grow up? Who? And that's where I am at this stage, 5 decades in. Who do I want to be? Because when I was younger, the things that I was doing, right, it was hustling, it was chasing, it was constantly running around in circles. It seemed like it was expending a lot of energy. But now what feels aligned? What feels nourishing? Who am I in this moment? Not just what type of coach do I want to be? Who am I going to be as I am coaching?
Yes.
What do they experience in the exchange? That's a different mentality. And I have energy to spare as opposed to energy that's depleted.
That right? Yeah. I say I can listen to you all day. I could just sit back and just. I'm like, I want to say none. I don't want to say none. I want Kristie to talk. Oh my God.
Something.
Oh my God. You just, oh boy. So, okay. So there's a lot to peel off of everything you just said, But the biggest thing is going back. I want to go back a little because, see, like you said, I always say we're our client back in the day, like you said, who we are. So I always tell people, I look for people that what I used to be. And those are my clients, basically, because the quiet one, the shy one, somebody told you that you weren't going to be anything. Somebody told you that you shouldn't even open your mouth. Somebody said you don't have a purpose. Somebody said that, why are you even on this earth? Those are the people that I like to work with because I was there. And I feel it. I feel the pain. And I want to walk with them and say no. Because people always say, well, why are y'all calling women queens? And y'all talking about you're awesome and amazing. People, I said, I'm going to keep saying that. So you trying to stop me from saying that? We can just cut that off right now. Because there was a time when people called me total opposite of all those words. And I told myself, I said, I never want anyone to feel as low as I did at that time. I didn't want anybody to feel that pain again, Kristie. So I said, if I got to be that lighthouse, I always tell people, lighthouse to the world. Want to be that lighthouse for people? Send them to me so they can send them to you so they can know how important they are in this life. Because you should never feel like you're nothing. Never. And if somebody's saying that, then they need to get out you need to get out your orbit. It's like, yeah. Yeah. So I was going to ask you, Kristie, so when you're working with people and when they come to you, well, first of all, what kind of clients do you work with? And then when they come to you, how do you start off with that journey with them?
Yes. Women in leadership. Typically that's who reaches out to me, and they're dealing with imposter syndrome. I hear it more than anything. Workaholics. I just love them to help them slow down just a little bit so you can still be powerful and productive and full of peace, have moments for yourself. So I love helping workaholics redesign their lives. So in any woman leader, because there's this constant demand for our brilliance. And the top thing I hear is, I don't have time for self-care. I used to hear ladies say, I don't have time to go to the bathroom. And to me, it's so sad. I just recently saw a young lady post that she was overworked and she had a health condition and she had to take time out. She had never used her leave, but because of this sickness that she was facing, she was in the hospital for months. All of a sudden now, like 200 accumulated days, she had to use all of them, and she walked away from that job. But sometimes women in leadership, they are so disconnected from their own physical, mental, emotional needs until it's too late, right? Until they're in a crisis state. And so I want to help her start creating these healthy habits prior to, because this is my mentality. We can work with wellness in mind. As someone who's lived through burnout 2 times. And I realized I had to do life differently because there is always going to be that demand, but I give myself permission to stop. So the ladies that I am attracted to and that are attracted to me is they want this energy, but sometimes there are women that don't want to do the work. I know they aren't my client, but they want the energy, but they don't want to do the work because being able to stop in the middle of your day and take a nature walk, you have to give yourself permission to do that. That work is going to be there, but think about how much more energized, how much more clear you will be once you take a moment, whatever that looks like for you. There are some times on my lunch break, and because I work from home, I do have a little more liberty, but I'll ride my bicycle. Now, I could choose to keep on grinding, right? There is always something to be done. I could do something else, another task, but if I choose me, I have the energy and the clarity and the creativity to work at my highest self. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see, hear, love it. Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
Take it in. Take it in.
Take it in. But see, I love what you said. And it's so, see, I bring over these golden nuggets that this queen is talking about. Just putting out there to the audience. I hope you're taking notes. Got the pen and paper. But one thing, well, not one thing, a lot of things you said, but one thing I want to mention is making sure that you do you, that you choose yourself. I always tell people, Queen, put yourself on your own calendar. Yes. If you see now this, I always tell people, this is a way to say that the boundaries are broken, is when you get on your phone, you get on your calendar, however you want to use your calendar, paper, whatever, and you see a whole lot of plugs there for either client, everybody, because I know we all got clients, we got other stuff doing, and you don't see yourself in there anywhere, that's a problem. That's when you have to refocus and look and say, okay, what am I doing where I only have time, like you just said, this person can't even go to the washroom. I used to be that person. That's why I was real. Because I'm like, you can't even go for 3 minutes to go to the washroom to relieve yourself. Something is wrong with that picture. So if you're not on your own calendar, making space for you, then there's a problem right there. And I'm glad that you brought that up. Yes.
Yeah, making space for you. Yeah. It's so big. And it's something, because when you get in these conversations, that's when you get to see the whole picture. It's like, okay, no wonder you don't have energy at the end of the day. It makes sense. So I use this visual. It's like my glass here, if I'm drinking. Every time I drink, I gotta fill it, but it's going to get empty. So every time I pour out, every time I offer my service, even this, having a conversation with you, I'm pouring out energy, right? My life force. I need to do something to pour back in. That could be just as simple as playing with my dog. Me and her, I throw her toys. Do you see that? So we don't have to overcomplicate it. Because if I hold her, that's releasing serotonin. So, but we have to understand what are some of the tools prior to, so we don't get depleted. If I pour out, I pour back in. If I pour out, I pour back in. So it becomes very natural, second nature.
Yes. Yeah. And then you get, like you said, everything, if you can be consistent in it over, that creates that, you're always it's automatically going to come because you're going to do it because you've been consistent in it. It creates a good habit forming. Yes, definitely. Yeah. Ooh, queen. So now now we know some of the client people that you're looking for that comes to you. When you sit with someone, like say for me, okay, I'm going to use myself as an example because I don't want nobody else to get upset. I can use me. I can get upset at myself. But if I come to you and I say, Queen, I'm just overwhelmed with everything. I'm trying to get stuff done. This is like, everything is like, how do you help me? I need help.
I got you. We're going to work through this together. So I like to start with the simplest step. So you're feeling overwhelmed, Barbara. If you could feel something different than overwhelmed, what emotion would you choose?
Just having fun. You just want to just feel like having having some fun. Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to add some fun back into your world. And so when you think about fun and a fun that will fit in this current schedule, what comes to your mind that would really make you come alive and leave you energized?
I love to dance. Yes, I love.
Okay, dancing to the music. So if you were just to create a simple plan, dancing again in your work day or wherever you want to place it, what do you envision that's so easy to do?
because I haven't went out in a while because I'd be, like you said, so busy. But maybe I was thinking about, because I love music, all different genres and stuff like that. So maybe if I play that, maybe get up sometime and just do, a little movement. Maybe that might start the pace. What do you think?
I love it. It sounds very easy. It's doable. Mm-hmm. Next is, how soon will you do it? What's our timeline? When you want to start this?
You're good. Well, you said we're not wasting no time here, Barbara. When you gonna do this?
Accountability.
Accountability is the key. Well, Queen, since you're my queen and you're my coach, I think I need to start that like today.
Today. Boom, here it is. And so it's just that it happens that fast. One, why do we want to create that commitment in the moment? It's because you're inspired, you're motivated, you want to jump on it. If not, what happens is your mind starts telling you what that old familiar pattern, and that's why we disrupt patterns with new thoughts. So my new thought is, so let's create a quick affirmation so we can seal this with the new belief. Ooh. What do you want to say about dancing, adding this fun into your life as an affirmation for yourself that you can put on repeat when that old thought that tells you, I am overwhelmed? What's the new affirmation?
Yeah. Ooh. My affirmation is I need to take time to have fun and for my health. Because I was just thinking, Queen, this is not only just for me to have fun to dance, but it's going to be moving my body. And I like dancing and I'll enjoy it. So there's a twofold here. Yeah.
So you just brought in purpose. It has meaning. So when we add these layers, we solidify the belief. So this is what I call now, we stack beliefs. So if, when you think about it, when you're in your quiet time, now you start building, why is this important to me? And the more layers you have, the deeper that conviction grows, so you can do the new thing. And the old begins to dissipate. It goes to the background.
Wow. So you got to say, oof. See, that's why I wanted you to walk through this, because see, everybody, you can have this queen and she can help you out so much.
With the quickness. It doesn't take long.
It didn't take long. It took us maybe 3 minutes, and you already helped me. You helped me so much. Now I know when I get off of this interview, I'm going to go do a little dance. Yeah.
Shake it up.
I am.
That's a part of health too. Going back to how you feel inside, you're releasing endorphins when you dance. That is exercise. Some people think exercise is only going to the gym. No, when you're moving your body, you're moving that stagnant energy or the overwhelmed energy, the frustrated energy. And now you're bringing those feel good emotions. Yeah. And that's a great place to create from.
Thank you for bringing that up, Queen, because you're so right. Because I know a lot of times when I get, like during the day I'm on, because I work at home most of the time too. And then I got this going on. I'm troubleshooting here. I'm doing this. I'm making the phone calls and stuff like that. I'm like, okay. And then I just had to say, okay, Barbara, it's time to get up. Time to get up. Get away from that computer. So I just go to my little quiet space, like you said, Queen. And it helps. So just even those 2 or 3 minutes, like you said, doesn't take much sometimes. Start with the little. Yeah.
And I call that a power pause. So especially for my busy executive leaders, when they told me they didn't have time, so I would do a breathing exercise with them, and it will be 60 seconds. And going back to stacking, so this is essential oil. This is my favorite right now. I'm on patchouli, and it's really good for anxiety and stress. So I'll use my hands when I put the patchouli oil in. Inhale and exhale, but I'm bringing in now aromatherapy, because here's my olfactory senses, right? My nose. And so then I could have a visual. Let me just create something really quick. So let's just say, let me use something else. Believe in yourself as a visual. You see that? So if I'm doing breath work and then I can look at an affirmation, that's my sight, right? And then I can say it out loud, then I'm hearing, I believe in myself. So the more senses that we activate, quicker we get into that better state of being, whatever state you choose, because it's just a matter of choosing. If I want to be in this powerhouse state, I have already done some type of powerhouse positioning. I may have done some jumping jacks, the stance. So I'm sitting upright when I'm talking to you, right? Because I'm coming as someone who knows something about something. And
expert.
Right. If I were coming in, let's just say it's me and Barbara, old girlfriends, we haven't seen each other. I'm probably gonna be a little more relaxed. Girl, what you talking about? So there is different states, and our body oftentimes reflects what type of state we're in. So let's say we're in a depressive state, we're in this low emotional state. You know what? I haven't seen anybody knocking on the doors, no clients for insight for days, right? And so I could be like, oh my gosh, you want to get out of it. You may be the only one that can see it, and you have to get out of that space. No, I am in high demand. Everywhere I go, people ask me for what I know. You see, I just made that up off the cuff. Now we are reprogramming in the moment. Most people, Barbara, they live on, what's the word? Autopilot. So we got to get out of that passive state, and we are very engaged with our own thoughts. No, that thought does not get a green light. That thought gets a red light. This thought better serves me. So it's paying attention to our inner dialogue. That's a big part of it.
Ooh, affirmations are the key, Queen. I've learned that so much. I had to really take that in, and like everything you said, it's so important to change those thoughts, to change that whole tone, to change that the same old thing like people would do, and then get into that, because I always tell people that you create happiness and sadness in your life. And some people are like, no, I don't. I get that person said something and they did this and they laid me out. I said, but you how you said that, all this person, place, or thing, and you have control over that. You can control your feelings and say, well, I'm going to get into that and be sad or depressed or whatever. Or I can say, you know what, I'm going to flip that and say, no, I am important. I am smart. Just because that went that way, that doesn't mean that explains who I am or makes the authority for me. So I always tell people, you have the choice to either feel a certain way or be a certain way. Yeah.
And as someone who's lived through depression, they have to be willing to fight for themselves, because we are on the outside looking in, and that's the peculiar thing about the inner world. And that's why I do not play with thoughts, because I know how they can take you under. And I crawled and I fought my way out, and I can still hear myself saying, either you fight or you faint. And I was like, we are not fainting at this point. We're going to fight through this. And so I'm a fighter. I will fight. And you have to find your fight, because sometimes, I'm telling you, it's very faint and it fades in the background, but we have to bring it back to the forefront. One of my anchoring statements, so if I'm in a low state of being, because I go there too, one of my anchoring statements, you have something to fixate on. It's emerge fortified. The word emerge means to move out of or away from and come back into view, or come into view, visible sight. Because what happens is, when we have a crack in our confidence, we're questioning ourselves, doubting ourselves, self-sabotage is happening, all the things, right? They're anti-powerhouse. We have to make a decision in that moment, is I am going to come back into view. Now, when you occupy your space, how are you going to occupy this space as you emerge fortified? I want to occupy my space with grace, with grit, with gratitude, because gratitude in itself cancels out a lot of negative moods. And I want to be grounded, because there are so many questions we have as we are building something. I personally, from the ground up, right, there are a lot of questions. There are a lot of things that are unknown, but I can rest in certainty. In those moments when I feel anxiety creeping in, Barbara, I can say, what I am most certain of is this, ... That's how we ground ourselves. What are you most certain of? I am most certain of that I am Black, beautiful, and brilliant. And you just start creating that conversation with yourself that is contrary to what your fears are trying to broadcast in your mind.
That's a mic drop. I don't have nothing else to say, Queen. I'm done. What I got to say? What they say? Okay, that's it. The Queen has spoken. We are done. It's like, but no.
I was here.
But no,
I loved.
I see. That's another thing I gotta tell everybody. This Queen, she sings. You have to look at her LinkedIn posts. you would get rejuvenated just hearing her do that and telling you, just what she just said. That's what you need. And again, it's a choice. I just want to remind people before you give your last, golden nugget. It's a choice we have to make, even when we're feeling like this low, like you said. And I'm glad you brought that out because I've been there too. Like you said, that depression and fighting or faint. Ooh, I love when you said that. And I choose to fight. I choose to fight. We only have this one life, and we need to cherish that. So if I've got to fight myself to a certain point and say, okay, Barbara, say these affirmations every day. Write it down every day, what you ever got to do to get yourself back out there. Because I would never, and I'm going to say this, Queen, because I really appreciate you so much. I would always want you to just come, like put a message in LinkedIn or whatever. If you're feeling that way, a little way, and say, Barbara, this day is kind of up for me. And I'll be like, Queen, you know what? I'm going to say your affirmation because the world needs you. The world needs your light. The world needs your coaching. The world needs the stories that you bring, and you have given people so much hope. I would say that to you in a heartbeat. So I'm just reminding you that if you ever feel that way, I had to bring you up because we need more people like you. We need more coaches like you because there's so many people, like I said at the beginning, about the mental health and doing check-ins with people. And I know and you deal with a lot of individuals. There's so much like sadness and pain and suffering that people just within themselves, I'm not talking about just, the outward world, that they need you. And they need you you need to remind them of that. So yeah, any day that you feel like a down day, come to me. I'm gonna remind you who you are so you get back on there because we need you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I wanted to say that because, like I said, the flowers, I want to give you and continue to give it. So I want people to remember, queens lift up other queens. We need to lift up each other. Now, I love my kings. I don't want people thinking I don't love the kings. Now, I do. We talking about the queens
I'm married to one.
Yeah. Hey, I love my queen, my kings now. Yeah, they good. The ones that are really doing their thing. But it's about, sometimes you got to put in the spotlight the queens, the women, because right now we have to work with each other. We have to build each other up. And that's another reason why I love this show and bringing on the queens, because first of all, I get to just meet them, celebrities like Kristie right here. And you get to learn who she is. So the next step, before she's going to leave one more gold nugget, but the next step is seek out Kristie. And I'm going to put her information while she's going to be talking to you for a minute, and really get a chance to say to yourself, do I need this in my life? Is my confidence kind of wavering? Am I an executive leader that I just feel like the walls are caving in and I can't tell anybody? Because if I tell somebody, they're going to think that I'm not strong. See, that's another thing. Kristie will be there to help you and say, you are strong. Don't worry about that. I feel like you need to let it out there instead of keeping it in, and then you're not moving forward. And we want you to move forward. That's what Kristie does for people. So I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna take myself down, and I want this queen to leave any lasting thoughts, and we'll be right back so you can understand exactly where to reach her. I'll be right back.
I just want you to be reminded that strength is sovereign and sovereignty is sacred. Stillness is sacred. Spontaneity is sacred. Your whole life is sacred. Shifting when it's time to pivot, that is sacred. Moving fast is sacred. Moving slow is sacred. However you choose to honor your world and honor yourself in it, it is sacred. And on today, I want you to be reminded that you are enough. Without the accoutrements, without the accolades, without the success, just you being you is more than enough. And I want to challenge you to start loving on you lavishly. The way you give to others, I challenge you to give it to yourself 100-fold. No one is you, and that is your power.
I had to breathe. I'm like, okay, Barbara, breathe. So amazing. Everybody, please reach out to this wonderful queen. You got a chance to know her. I adore her, and you won't believe this. Like I said, I just met her just like a month ago. So this is, I mean, I feel like I've been knowing her for a lifetime because we have the same like-minded, and we want to help so many people. And she has that heart of gold. So reach down, Kristie Kennedy. That is your website, right, Queen?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And anything else is how you want them to reach you besides that? I just want to make sure they get all the information from you.
Yes, that is the main spot. And you'll be able to contact me right there from the hub.
So there's no excuses. And if you say, well, I don't know, Barbara, I listened to that Queen Kristie that you talk about, and how do you contact her? You contact me and I'll contact her for you. If you missed anything, or just look at the replay. There's no excuse. No excuses, right, Queen?
No excuses. And then you can just Google. You put Kristie Kennedy there. You got about 50 pages worth of free content, and you name it, you'll be able to find me. I'm not hard, as Dion said. I'm not hard to find.
No, you're not. So with that, again, thank you so much, Queen, for coming on.
Thank you.
Again, I want to give you your flowers, your love. Thank you for being a lighthouse to the world for so many other people. It's so important, and you're doing such good work for so many people. Again, please reach out to this queen. We'll the next of the Coaches Lounge. If you're interested in getting the love and just really explaining what you do for others, because you don't get, like I said, you don't get the love like you should. The coaches don't. I'm here. This is the Coaches Lounge, and I'm here to do that for you. Again, when we meet again, always remember that you have a gift in you. Just let it shine, not just for yourself and remind of who you are, but that light so can shine for others and let the whole world, and we're all lighthouses to each other. You take care. Thank you, Queen.
Thank you.